Hey, She Blosses. She Bloss Nicole here, back with another video to make sure you're staying motivated to boss from the blessing. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about where Bloss came from. I want to show you a clip of a video that I did years ago. When I look at it on YouTube, the posting is 3 years ago, but I just feel like it was more than 3 years ago. But however, I want you to watch this clip.
All my She Blosses out there. It is She Bloss Asia C, and I am here with the She Bloss Nicole herself, and we are going to ask all the questions that you want to know. Our first question is, where did the idea of Bloss, Boss, and Bless come from?
Actually, Bloss, the idea actually came from seeing abuse of authority. Not just seeing it, but actually experiencing it over myself. And it really did something to me when it came to me viewing authority. Okay, so you see the question was asked, where did the idea of Bloss come from? If you see me looking down, I have my notes right here because I need to stay on task. I tend to talk and just talk. And so the question was, where did the idea of Bloss came from? And you see that my response was from abuse of authority. And this is where all of this came. Before Bloss even started, I started with Beautiful. And Beautiful just had to deal with the woman knowing who she was and understanding her makeup in God. But it blossomed to Bloss. And I can go into that another time. But just starting at Bloss, the idea didn't just come from seeing abuse of authority, but it was also me experiencing abuse of authority. And then later on, as I came into leadership, I seen some of those characteristics that was in my leadership role. Those same characteristics of abuse of authority. And I didn't like it, but I didn't know what to do with it because I thought that the things that I was doing was right, even though it was offending my conscience. It was offending what in my heart I felt was wrong. But I felt like I had to do it the way it was modeled before me because that's the way that they trailblazed. And if they've been in leadership longer than me, then I got to be wrong and they have to be right. So I tried to quiet these voices and these feelings of, hey, this ain't right. You know, or Christ saying, that's not me. That's not my model of leadership. I tried to quiet those voices until I no longer could. And this is how Bloss was birthed. So because of these experiences, it completely distorted my view of authority as well as leadership. Now I need you to understand that I have always believed that I was called into leadership in some capacity or another. But when I was younger, I wanted to be Michael Jackson, at least sing with Michael Jackson. If I couldn't be him, then I wanted to sing like him. I wanted to go on the stage and sing The Man in the Mirror. And I wanted to just do all of those things that I seen Michael Jackson doing. And even though it may seem like I just wanted the fame or I just wanted the popularity and even maybe the money or whatever that Michael had, I always felt like, but I had something to offer the people. It wasn't just about my talent or my desire to want to be known. I really did feel like I had something to offer the people, even if it was me just my dance moves like Michael, singing like Michael. However, I've always felt this from day one, as I can remember as a child. Then later on, as I got into ministry and got into church, I wanted to be Juanita Bynum. I mean, who didn't? I mean, every woman, if they will admit it, wanted to have some piece or some part of Juanita Bynum, and that was me. And as I got into ministry, that was my desire. But once again, it wasn't just because of who she was and what she was doing. I really did feel like I had something to offer the people. I felt like God had called me into a place to be before people. So fast forward, I'm quite sure, well, matter of fact, I'm going to say looking back, just having hind's view, I'm quite sure I may have displayed some type of leadership skills or desires and different things like that that made me look a little different. It made me look like I was hungry for power, or I was just wanting attention. And that may have been, especially in my immature state, that may have been. But once again, it did not alleviate the fact that I really felt like I was called to a place on a platform or on a stage of some sort, right? And so because of my experiences and because of, like I said, some of those things that may have happened in my immaturity, somewhere along the way I grabbed the idea that my desire for leading, my desire for leadership, my desire for authority was wrong. So because of that seed that was planted and it started to yield fruit and it started to grow in my heart, I was constantly trying to make sure that I didn't have a spirit of control on me. I was constantly trying to make sure that I wasn't desiring something that wasn't of God. So it kept me in the place of always being careful, always careful for everything, to the point it just stopped me from moving altogether. This constant evaluation of my heart was endless, and I never could break free with a permission that I was ready. So I didn't do anything. If I started, I stopped. And I never went back because I was constantly looking over myself to make sure that I was good enough. So to the woman who is still waiting and trying to make sure that her heart is pure, I want to encourage you that you can't make your self-reflection God. You're going to have to trust Him in the process. That means it's time to move on the burden that you have. And as you move, you're going to have to trust Him and allow Him to course correct you as you go. You can't be afraid to make a mistake. You can't even be afraid to find out that somewhere along the lines that your motives do need to be adjusted. So I want to encourage you that now is your time. Now is your time to move, and it's okay to move. And it's okay to move understanding that you're going to make mistakes, but God is there with you. So self-reflect, which is good, but make sure you involve God. And make sure at the end of it, if you know that God is really pushing you to move in a certain thing right now, go on and move in it, knowing that God is with you. Spend time with Him so that you can feel free and you're confident, you're conscious, to move, even though you're not totally at peace with it. But in the depths of your heart, you know that is God. Do the self-reflections, but don't make it God. Stay before the Father. That's going to help you to release your conscience to hear and discern His voice so that you can trust what you're hearing. And if you find out that it wasn't God, it's okay. It's okay. The Father knows how to say, hey, baby, that wasn't me. Come on back over here. Right? So I want to encourage you that it's time to start the business, start the ministry, write the book, get the patent, whatever it is, because he needs his righteous in authority. And that's you. Okay, till the next time.